In today's world, every IT dollar is being scrutinized. So building trust through showback and cost transparency is really no longer a nice to have, but a necessity for the business. With proven optics cost transparency, organizations can connect the dots between what IT delivers and what it truly costs to deliver. Our solution empowers teams to understand total cost of ownership, communicate that value back to stakeholders, and make smarter, faster decisions with confidence. Today, we'll walk through the system and see how we can deliver rapid time to value, service total cost of ownership, conduct scenario analysis on multiple models, unify the financial planning approach with data and different systems, as well as show back to the business. So starting with rapid time to value. The proven optics cost model leverages the new ServiceNow UI. This allows IT finance individuals to not require technical expertise on ServiceNow to run our intuitive UI, and it really ensures whether you're an analyst, financial leader, or IT decision maker that you can confidently manage and analyze your IT costs without having to rely on your ServiceNow team. So right out of the box, we come with guided setups that give you inline text and videos as to how to set up our model, and it actually steps you right through building your first cost model. Out of the box, once you download us from the store, we also come with pre-configured industry standard models like TBM and ITFM. So you have a jumping off point or a place to start so you can rapidly get outcomes and outputs from the model once you put in your financials. The second piece of the outcomes today is service total cost of ownership. So once you run your model, the dashboarding capability is right here in the workspace as well. So you're actually able to go in and do analysis based on your different segments. Whether you wanted to look at your application portfolio or all of your business services, you'd quickly be able to see what services you're costing, what those services are from a total cost of ownership perspective stacked up next to each other, the unit cost of those services, what is driving the cost of those segments, so different labor and contracts and projects that are ultimately driving the cost to deliver that service, and then who is consuming that service, or in other words, what's the value that this service is delivering back to the business. Now, this is more of that portfolio view at the segment level. We can actually go down to an individual object if we wanted to do more granular analysis. Let's pick on the IT support desk, for example. From here, we can go ahead and see what the total cost is to deliver this service, how we're costing that service from a unit cost perspective. So as we do planning in the future, and this goes into our budget process, and we're showing back to the business how and what behavior is driving our cost, in this case, ticket count. What are the main drivers for the cost of this service? And then again, what's the value this service is delivering to the business? So these are some of the out-of-the-box dashboards where we can really start to understand and drill into cost drivers, unit cost analysis, and total cost analysis of any service or object that we are costing. The third piece is scenario analysis. With scenario analysis, you can ultimately run as many models as you need. So the beautiful thing about the proven optics cost model is you can run models side by side, and you can actually just toggle between those different models right on dashboards. So you are able to see the differences in the reporting outputs from model to model, and we don't restrict you on how many models you can run. The beauty of that is many times entire businesses can't agree on what methodology to cost on, or potentially if they wanted to cost based on different financial data sets, a budget versus an actual versus a forecast. This gives you the flexibility and the scalability to still deliver the reports and do the scenario analysis that you might need with different data sets or based on different departments right in the application. The next outcome is unified financial planning. So ultimately, how can we utilize data that might already be on platform to help build our cost model? So if we go back to where we started, You'll notice that we can always add new or update existing data to our model, whether that's transactional, operational, or cost objects, what we're actually costing. Agreeing on the items that we're costing to start is sometimes challenging for many businesses. So the ability to just pull right from an existing service catalog in ServiceNow or application portfolio that might be in ServiceNow, projects, etc., all of those source tables are right here at your fingertips to quickly build the objects and the IT value chain that you might have already mapped in service mapping throughout the CMDB in ServiceNow. So really a great starting point in a way for once those are synced into the Proven Optics cost model, they will stay evergreen going forward, meaning as you onboard or offboard applications, they will be onboarded and offboarded in the Proven Optics application as well, really unifying that approach. Now, lastly is showback. How do we show back cost to the business? First of all, we can do this with the bill of IT. The bill of IT ultimately gives us and all of our business stakeholders everything that they are consuming from a services perspective. So this is where we can trend cost over time for an individual business unit. I can show them all of the services that they're consuming, and I can show them the quantity and how we are costing that individual service as well. The goal here is to be able to show the transparency of how you're costing to hopefully change the business's behavior so they're not consuming IT like it's free. They can understand what they need to change behaviorally, whether it's head count, ticket count, device count, license count, so that they can change their behavior to ultimately optimize the cost that they are incurring on the organization. That's really the value of the showback and some of the reports that we can do right here and bring that to the forefront of the business. Another area that we can help is via our diagram capability, being able to visualize any cost model to show back to the business as well. So here in the diagram capability, this is a tool that ultimately lets us turn a potentially complex model into a very clear and intuitive visual. So as ITFM professionals, we often get the question, why does this cost so much? It's nice to be able to come to a visual like this to give your stakeholders a clear way to conceptualize how a specific cost object or service in this example is being allocated throughout the business. What is driving the cost of this? Well, labor, contracts, portals, right, technology, etc. And who is consuming this? What is my fair share percentage? In this case, it's based on ticket count, like we talked about earlier, and I can actually see the breakdown based on that ticket count across my different departments entering tickets, right? So being able to walk stakeholders through this and have an intuitive model to show them back ultimately improves trust and improves clarity and that cost transparency to stakeholders. So with that, hopefully this demo showed you how Proven Optics can simplify potential complexity when it comes to showing back cost of IT and really bringing that cost transparency to the business. Thank you.